Welcome back, everybody. My first guest tonight is the anchor and managing editor of CBS Evening News. Please welcome Norah O'Donnell. Hello, Norah O'Donnell.
Good evening. How are you?
It's good. Hearing you say good evening from the news desk there makes me feel like you're about to interview me. It's slightly unnerving. Hey,
Did we switch it around?
We're congratulations on the 1-year anniversary of anchoring the CBS Evening News.
Thank you. It's hard to believe what a year it's been. I mean, as you know, this news cycle has been quite intense, from the impeachment to a pandemic, a presidential primary, now an election and protests. And in many ways, we sort of feel that, covering the news is like sipping water from a fire hose. But we try every night to, try and make sense of it all. And it's been unlike, I should say, any other year I've ever had in my career in journalism.
Do you see any commonality between all these stories? Because you said it is like sipping water from a fire hose, but there's been like a decade worth of news in every month.
Every month, yeah. I mean, look, I think that the protests in many ways grew out of a deep interest in the news. I think we saw record viewership. So people were watching because of COVID-19. People are attuned to what was going on in their community. They were attuned to racial disparities in terms of the way that COVID was affecting minorities and African Americans and Hispanics. And so people really tuned into what was going on. They were on social media. And so we first covered the case of Ahmaud Arbery, of course, the Georgia jogger who was shot. And I think and then George Floyd. And so I think there's an attuned electorate, and one that is ready for a reckoning.
Now, when I'm talking to you right now, are you actually in the studio or the newsroom, or are you at home? Is this?
This is in the Washington bureau. So we have a socially distanced crew here. We have masks. I have my mask that I wear until, I sit down here. Everybody, the crew wears gloves and masks and wash our hands frequently. And so far, we've been doing it like this since the pandemic began.
Well, you moved down there. You actually started the actual broadcast. You don't say show, you're news. You don't say show. That's the difference, right? You guys broadcast, right. We do show. Yeah. Your broadcast of the CBS Evening News started in December down there. Exactly.
Yeah.
How's the move been? What's the difference from doing your show in New York, doing your broadcast in New York, or your broadcast in DC?
Well, look, it was incredibly fortuitous. I mean, we ended up coming to Washington. We wanted to do that because it was going to be a presidential election and to be at the heart of this, covering this presidency, which takes a lot of work. And it turns out it was impeachment too. Who would have predicted that? So we covered all of the impeachment hearings throughout that. And then, of course, a global pandemic. So it seemed like the timing was incredibly fortuitous. And then, of course, every night when this pandemic began, we were trying to speak with every member of the president's coronavirus task force, find out what the government was going to do to try and keep us safe. So it helped to be here. But for the past 3 months, we've been pretty much alone in this studio, not able to really interview anybody here because we've been social distancing.
Well, I know as a journalist, you have to maintain a public objectivity, which I will not try to pierce with my questions. But I will say, from my own point of view, that our government has completely abdicated their role for leadership in this time of COVID. Journalists seem to be the ones who are trying to get out the proper information to the American public right now about the health and the safety concerns, the need for social distancing and wearing masks. And what do you feel a role of journalism is right now in the time of the COVID crisis?
Well, look, I've always believed that journalism is a public service. Walter Cronkite, who sat in this chair, said journalism is what we need to make democracy work. We need an informed electorate. I didn't ever think that I would become a public health official in some regard. My father's an infectious disease doctor. He does public health work. And it has seemed like every night during this, we've been doing the role of public health. During this crisis, we're not sharing people's opinions. We're having people with MDs and PhDs on because the curiosity is so vast out there in terms of how is the virus spread? Is it airborne? Is it on surfaces? What are the treatments? We do something almost every night on our show called Racing to a Cure. People want to know, what are the therapeutics? When is the vaccine going to come? How do we keep schools safe? And so I do think the very critical role that all of us journalists have played as public health officials is not something I'm used to, but one that we've embraced. And the quest for knowledge is strong out there.
When's the last time you spoke to Anthony Fauci?
So the last time we had Dr. Fauci on this show was 3 months ago on April 15th.
Are you surprised that the administration isn't allowing him to go on shows like yours? Because I assume you've tried to get him since.
Well, you would think that any administration would want one of the most trusted men in America to be your spokesperson, to explain what's going on and what the administration is doing. We have been requesting Dr. Fauci since April, so for more than 3 months, more than a dozen times, and have been denied by the White House. In that time, Stephen, I looked it up today, their number of deaths have increased over 100,000. It's unclear.
We've tried to talk to him, and I can understand them not allowing him to come on this clown show. But have they given you a rationale as to why he's not going on the evening news broadcast?
They say that he is unavailable, but what my sense is of things is that there have been a number of polls that have been taken. The most recent was the Siena poll, New York Times poll, that showed 67% of Americans trust Dr. Fauci and 24% of Americans trust the president when it comes to the virus. So I think that's their sense. They don't want that Fauci disagreeing with the president. But look, we want to know. He's the head of the NIH infectious disease unit and also in charge of vaccines. We want to know what's the status. As a mother, I'd like to know, should we be sending our kids back to school in the fall? How can we do it safely? There's so many questions to ask as someone who is heading up a government agency funded by taxpayer dollars. The knowledge that this man who has served 5 presidents can impart to the American public, I think, is incredibly important. And it's a real question for this White House about why they are trying to squelch that public health information.
Now, my understanding is that you actually know Anthony Fauci.
I do know Dr. Fauci. It turns out he lives a couple of blocks from my husband's restaurant. And I don't think he would mind me saying that every once in a while I catch him at the bar having a beer and a burger with his wife. Not since, of course, the pandemic began.
Oh, I was about to say, because if Fauci's going out and hitting the clubs, that's
no.
news.
Way back when. So, and you sometimes see him out in the neighborhood, on a walk. And he's a very friendly guy. As a reporter, I've been able to call his cell phone and speak with him. So he's not hiding from the press, but he is being blocked by the White House from speaking on television. He is able to do some print and podcast interviews.
Can you text me his phone number just so I can give him a quick ring just to see how he's doing?
I will. I'll ask him permission, but I don't think it should be a problem. And you'd be surprised. He'll pick up.
Oh, he'll be fine with it. Now, you've covered 6 presidential elections, but of course, there's no election like this one. And in June, you got a chance to sit down with Vice President Joseph Biden. What was it like to do an interview socially distanced? Because you were present. I've interviewed the vice president, but just over Zoom like we are right now. What did you have to do to make sure that that was a safe interview?
We were in Houston there for the George Floyd funeral. It was Joe Biden's first trip out of Delaware since the pandemic began. He was meeting with the family. We met him at a restaurant. We had our temperature taken. There were swarms of Secret Service agents in masks and gloves. One of the vice president's aides was carrying around, it was a 2-gallon jug of Purell with a giant pump on it. I mean, it was like nothing I'd ever seen in my life. Of course, our fantastic CBS News crew had us sitting 12 feet apart to maintain extra social distancing. And then one of the vice president's aides came and measured it. And apparently it was only, 11 feet and 8 inches. So we had to move back another 4 inches. At that point, I said, Mr. Vice President, can you hear me from over there, the other side of the room? But that's now, that's the world we live in, which is, really interesting. And I think what we took from him is that how his administration might be different from the current one in dealing with issues such as George Floyd, and of course, what he talked to the family about. And I think that's one of the only trips that the vice president, if I'm right, has taken outside of at least the Delaware, Pennsylvania area, was to go to that funeral. He actually did not attend the funeral. He just met with the family before the funeral because there were many people inside that funeral. It would have been, I think, a public health concern for him given his age.
Norah, we have to take a quick break, but we'll be right back, everybody, with more CBS Evening News anchor Norah O'Donnell.